Oh, my Twidget's not ready. I didn't set up my Twidget. Why is my Twidget not ready? There we go. Goofyfoot, hey, how you doing, buddy? And Sir Sega, your KVM Viper is out for delivery. Hopefully you get it and it arrives safely. Some people apparently that has not been the case. Although the issues people have seen, that switch is really not needed for the iArcade. I still don't want it broken off, but that switch is for other things you have planned outside of iArcade. But hopefully guys are hearing me. So if Goofyfoot or Sir Sega, you can tell me at least you're hearing me okay. And make sure everything is copacetic. We have a lot of things, well, not a lot of things to talk about, but I figure might as well talk about something because so many things kind of happened today. Like, why not, right? So I'm just waiting to see if you guys should be okay. I think I'm okay. Goofyfoot is jealous of Sir Sega. Can't blame him. Hopefully he's good, I agree. Hey, Papa Brad, welcome to tonight's show. And sounds good. That's what I wanted to hear. Thanks, Sir Sega. So I wanted to do this episode because a lot of things happened today. New Wave Toys dropped their new announcement, which is their Crystal Castles, which I've had involvement in again. So the Golden Tee trackball, but the trackball for the Crystal Castles, and I'm going for the full artwork one. The prototype of the wood is kind of cool, but I definitely want to get the Crystal Castles with the artwork, and of course my trackball, which we've modified to be illuminated, which is obviously the way the arcade was as well. So hopefully people will be excited about that. I think so far people have been. I hope they do purchase both, the Crystal Castles and my component to it. Now, people have been asking, will the Golden T1 work with the Crystal Castles or vice versa? I'm going to save those type of questions for when Shiloh comes on. I'm just waiting for him to give me a date. Hear me now? I was worried about that. Microphone died. I have no idea what you could miss or not. So hopefully it wasn't too long. AJ, thanks for telling me. My other microphone just died. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Hey, Pliskin. Yeah, these microphones are actually pretty good. They were $7, but they don't hold the charge incredibly long. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. So I have two microphones. So I'm not sure what you said, so I'm going to repeat kind of what I said. So right now I have my arcade going over there, and I am connected over Bluetooth. So I connected Bluetooth to my Viper, and you can see it's controlling the big pixel display from Link. As I go scroll through on the screens, you can see the big pixel is changing, and it's really just plugging in the USB port. Now, the Ultimate Control Panel has a USB hub. We have a bunch of USB, I think it's like 4 or 5 USB ports. Plus the Viper's got 3 ports. So you can plug it to any one of those. And of course, the gate switchers will automatically work when connected to the Viper as well. So when you pick a game like Pac-Man, it's going to automatically switch. What I was saying before, if you didn't hear me, was that for people who did purchase the Ultimate Control Panel and the GRS Viper switcher, you are the first to experience the Viper and arcade on the Viper. And I think we nailed a lot of parts of that. I think it's really solid, and it's going to be fun and easy to put games on and to use. At least that's my hope. That's what we really plan for. But we're open for ideas, obviously. So you guys will be the first to really be using this and seeing how it goes with it. I do know at least 2 people received their Viper KVM switcher with a little switch broken off. That little switch is not used at all right now. It's going to be used because the switcher is going to be used by other products that we have planned. So it was obviously designed for the iArcade, but we wanted to make it more robust to work outside the iArcade. We have a lot of things still planned. So guys, if you're not subscribed to my channel, which I'm sure you guys are, but if you're not, you want to subscribe, because you have a lot of other products still coming out in the pipeline. I don't want you guys to miss out on it. I know a lot of people missed out on the KVM switcher, and it's going to be a little time before we start making more, but we are going to make more. But maybe we'll start doing a pre-order again, and we had our magic number. We'll produce them. That's why I say when you do this, don't be a FOMO. Don't have that fear of missing out and miss out. You want to grab it when you can. But I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm really doing this in case you have any questions about the switcher that just got released. You can see I have my little, not so little, if I can bring it up a little bit bigger. Where did it go? Where did it go? Is it this one? No, it's going to be this one, I think. Let's see. Oh, wrong camera. There we go. So I have my Fix It Felix Jr. there and my new Neo Geo. These are both running a Viper. These are GRS Build-A-Cades that have been upgraded with a GRS Viper, and they're both running arcade. So arcade is not only running on my iArcade back there with the KVM switcher, but it's also now going to be done in my Build-A-Cades. We're just waiting for one component to be finished. The GPIO pins are not fully programmed. My Neo Geo is using a USB 6-button controller, so there's no problem there. But the stock controller uses GPIO pins, so I'm just waiting for them to finish that up. We'll do some testing, and then that's when we can release the Viper to the general public as a standalone device, and you can start putting it in your Build-A-Cades if you wanted to do that as well. This arcade is owned by Viper, and that's the little decals on the top. Actually, on the top of my Neo Geo and Fix It Felix, I do have my Viper decal on them. I'm going to try and get some extra decals too, because I don't know if anyone who's in the chat right now did receive a KVM board. I don't believe you got the Viper decal. So I'm going to try and get a bunch of those and ask you guys maybe send a self-addressed stamped envelope if you guys want one. I'll send you my decal, the GRS decal with a Viper decal if you want to slap it on your machines. But I did post as well that Shiloh is going to be coming on, kicking old school, just trying to pin down the day. Because right now he's very busy between the Golden Tee and the Crystal Castles. But we're trying to get another guest on with us as well. So once we have it all pinned down, I'll post the date, and Shiloh will be on kicking old school or another day. I'm going to try and work on the schedule because, again, we're trying to get someone else involved with that show. So stay tuned for when that will be. So keep your eye out. It may not be on Friday. It may be on a different day, even a weekend day. Pliskin, one day, let's see, one day I'll upgrade my arcade. I hope so too. I think it's definitely become my favorite machine to use, especially now with the Viper in there. You can pretty much do anything you want. Right now, you can see on my lower screen right here, if I pull this off again, I'm using Bluetooth to talk to my Viper in my iArcade, and I'm using a wireless HDMI dongle as well in my lower TV set, so you can kind of see what's going on over there as well. But everything is set up in here. It's all arcade that's on here as well. And I hope you guys, I really am hoping you guys really do enjoy the Viper and what it can do. We not only this project, but other projects as well. Andy's Gaming with Andy. Happy midweek to you as well. Again, I just want to do this here because a lot happened today. People are getting their KVM switchers, and Shao did the announcement. If anyone had any questions, I figured I'll just do a live stream for a little while, maybe an hour. Maybe answer some questions if anyone has any questions. It is. So, he did two. Let me see if I can bring it up over here. I may have to go and let me see if I do this over here real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. Gotta find it. There we go. Okay, let's see if I can bring this up here. Gotta find it. There's so many buttons nowadays, Sometimes it becomes a lot. Too many buttons, too many buttons. Where are you? There we go. So Shiloh did release the Crystal Castles. Gets off the screen here, and it's two different versions. He has the one I played in the arcade, which is the one on the left, and of course there is the prototype version on the right, and of course my control panel as well. And you have 26 days, 37 minutes, and 22 seconds to do this. And in the email and also in my description for the video, there is a code that'll save you some money on purchasing this here. This one right here is the one I'm probably going to pick up. That one I just think is it's a beautiful cabinet. Shop now. Let's click on that little bad boy. It's a really nice looking cabinet. They redid their trackball in here. They improved it over the Missile Command and their Centipede. And it is illuminated in here. But of course, we also have my external unit. If you really want to get into the game and rock it, you probably want to have that. But it's just a beautiful looking cabinet. And that's the one I'm probably going to pre-order. Just because, damn, that thing it just really looks nice. And of course, they'll have their improved CRT filter on there, which I think they've dialed in really, really well with the Ghosts and Goblins and Ghouls and Ghosts. The working coin doors, which is going to be fantastic. And it's just a nice looking cabinet. Now, the game itself, I'll admit, it's not a game I play a lot. It's a fun game. It is a fun game. I think trackball games are fun, but it's definitely not one of my games I have to play. But it's definitely one I do want to add to the collection. It's just a nice looking cabinet there. And it looks like they're missing a little piece. I don't think it's supposed to be this way. I think a piece fell out. It's supposed to be like a vent. I highly doubt that's supposed to look like that. But it's got a little padlock here, HDMI out, and USB ports where we can plug in my dock. And let's see if we can go back down here for a second. So we'll go back here a little bit and look at the other one. This one, it looks nice. Okay, it does look nice, but it's definitely not the one that I remember playing for sure as a kid. So for me, I don't have a lot of nostalgia for this particular one here. It almost looks like a cabaret unit. Still got the nice letter trackball, the single coin door in this unit. Got the Atari prominent in the front, and the artwork is not dialed in yet. This was like a prototype shown of a prototype, if you will. I do like the wood grain one, but yeah, both have the same spot. I think the piece is not there. I don't think it's going to be like that. I don't. But I'm still going for, I think, the original cabinet myself. And of course, then you have the 349. Again, you can use your discount code. And my trackball's been modified, where we're using almost like we did with the arcade 1-up, where the ball does have some opacity to it, and we'll have a nice glow. It's going to try and look as close to the original Crystal Castles Trackball as we can get. I think we can dial in really, really well, and I think you guys will be very pleased with it. I know I've seen a lot of questions, you know, can this one be used with Golden Tee, and can the Golden Tee one be used with this one? Those questions we'll save for Shiloh when he's on the show to talk about, because I don't want to misspeak, because it's his product, and I want him to discuss it personally. Yeah, that's what Andy's saying. Thing of the cabaret. I think it was a prototype. I think that it was the original design, and they kind of changed it. Jason, good to see you too, buddy. It's always good to see my good AI friend Jason. No, Cammy from Australia, all the way from Australia. Cammy, how are you doing? Cammy, just so you know, I'm going to be on Amiga Bill's show. When is that? I think I have it in my calendar here. Let me see. Cammy is a great friend. She's a huge Amiga fanatic. Nothing wrong with that. When am I going to be on Amiga Bill's show? Let's see. The 3rd, Saturday the 3rd. So if you happen to catch Amiga Bill's show on, I think it does it on Twitch. I will be on Amiga Bill's show. I'm going to do it from his studio. I'm going to go to his house. He's about an hour away. So I'm going to do it at his house. We'll do a live stream from over there. But Cam, it's always great to see you. You're a doll. Love you to death. And happy to see you here. The Corner Cade is here. What's up, man? Appreciate it. You guys aren't subscribed? I'm sure you guys are. And we all have our circle. And our circle, pretty much, of YouTubers are all in the same channels. But if you're not, definitely check out the Corner Cade. He's got a good show there. And he's a great guy. You want to take a look at that. Probably should have made Millipede instead. You know, it's probably still not off the table. I personally, as I'm hitting my microphone, I want to see Scramble or Rally X, Zaxxon. That's right, or Tron. You know, but I know Tron's a license issue, same with Star Wars. That's a licensing thing. But there's still so many cabinets still to go. So if this is not your forte, that's okay. There will definitely be more New Wave toys. I'm talking to them. We're partnering with them. We're going to be making lots of controllers for them, and you'll know what kind of controllers I make. So just keep your eyes open. 2025 is not as far off as people think, and there'll be more cabinets revealed. So again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe, because you don't want to miss out on any of those things. Papa Bread's asking, are you making any more control panels for Arcade? They are sold out, and I said that before, but my microphone might have been dead at the moment. So yes, we will definitely be making more. I'm just not sure when. We just finished that. We have a lot of other projects that we've been working on behind the scenes you guys don't know about, so it's take up a lot of our time. But yes, we absolutely will be making more. And like I was saying earlier, some people have had the little switch that says controller that broke off, and that is not needed at all for the IRK. Now, again, it shouldn't break off at all. That should have been glued down, so I'm a little disappointed in my team, and I want to get that fixed. That shouldn't do that. But it's not going to affect the IRK at all. That's for another project we're working on. So it's not I don't want to say it's not a big deal, because when I pay for something, I want it to be perfect. And obviously, I know at least 2 that the switch broke off of. But yes, the answer ultimately is yes, Papa Bread. There will be more. I just don't have a date yet when it will be, unfortunately. Blitzkin seen some of her videos. I assume you're talking about good old, where'd she go? Pull her up here again. Cammy. She's does a lot of good videos. She's a big Amiga fanatic, so great person. She's a great person. What else we got here? So PB, the Viper will be very soon. As I was showing before with my 2 Build-A-Cades you see over there, the Fixer Felix and the Neo Geo Cab, they're running Viper, and we're waiting for them to finish the driver for the GPIO pins. My Neo Geo unit over here, oops, my Neo Geo unit over there, what am I doing? I am totally messed this up. Get this off here. Go away. I have too many things open here. I don't want that one. I want... I'm trying to learn all my buttons. I moved everything around here. Nope. There we go. So these are both running Vipers, but the Neo Geo is using my 6 button, which is a full USB joystick and button. So that works no problem. So my Fixer Felix is using the standard joystick, which is GPIO pins. So we're just waiting for them to finish driver. We test that driver, and then we can release the standalone Viper and start shipping those out. Just waiting for that to be finished. And then the Viper will be up for pre-orders. You can order all you want at that point. And let's get this off the screen now. Got to get all my buttons in order here. Bit of a mess. So that's what's holding that up. Trying to think what else has been going on today. On PB Thanks, I built six. Very good. I built 6 with a Pi 3. I actually have built a bunch of Pi 4s, a bunch of Pi 3Bs, 3As, 2 Pi 2s B model, and a bunch of actually Pi 1s, the original Pi A. It's slow, but once it boots up, it plays Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, all the classics without any problem, and had them lying around and weren't using it for anything. I also built one with an Orange Pi 0 and an Orange Pi 5 and an RK3588. Also a Banana Pi. So I think I have like 18 Build-A-Cades built right now, and I have 4 more I still got to build. I have a Donkey Kong Jr. I got to build. I got a Punch-Out I got to build. A Mario Brothers I have to build. And I keep forgetting there's another one I want to build. It was Donkey Kong 3, Punch-Out, Mario Brothers. There's one more I keep forgetting. I'm sure it'll come to me. But I have a bunch more of those I want to build. So I think between the Build-A-Cades and my New Wave Toys collection, I think I have the largest quarter-scale collection in the world right now. And only going to get bigger and better, because with the Build-A-Cade, you can kind of make anything that you want. And we still have lots of plans for the Build-A-Cade. So we're not slowing down with that either. And some people say, well, Glenn, how do you do your quarter-scale, 1/6 scale Build-A-Cades and you're working with New Wave Toys? They're not the same thing. When you want a very arcade accurate recreation of a machine, that's New Wave Toys. I fully support them, and I bought every single one that they make. But there's some that they are not going to be able to make for a number of reasons. Where they weren't popular enough. Maybe you would like the game, but it wasn't popular enough. Or they can't get the license. And that's where the Build-A-Cade comes in. You can now make your own. It takes a little time, or you got to pay for some artwork. Or making 3D printed parts, so you can make the cabinet look different. So it's a good partnership. And Shiloh is a great partner. He really, really is. He, like me, he really cares about the community. He cares about you guys. He wants to deliver a good product. Oh, Scott B should be coming tomorrow. Excellent. So I know it's been a long road. I think it's been about a year since John and Michael were on the show, and they announced that iArcade was going belly up, and it was a few minutes before the show aired. I'm like, listen, I'm going to make an announcement. I want to make this. It wasn't even called a Viper, I think, at that point. It was an SBC and a switcher, and we finally got there. Sorry it took so long, but the project was a lot bigger than any of us thought to undertake. It really, really was a large-scale project, but it's here, and now things can move a lot faster than it was before. We're going to be improving the arcade. I don't think there's much more that needs to be improved, but that's why you guys are here. As you guys start using the Viper and the Build-A-Cade, start using the Viper and iArcade, or the Viper and Arcade 1-Ups, or any other projects you guys have, we're open to suggestions and ideas to make it improved. But I think one of the big selling points is ease of getting games on there. There's a downloader built right in. Direct compatibility with the GRS gate switcher, the yoke, spinners and trackballs, my Sinden Target Pro, the Al Link, a Pixel, the LCD Pixel and the Bit Pixel, Moonlight for streaming Steam or your computer over to it, or the ability to have your friends join your local network and play Sega Genesis games or MAME games, even though you're in different parts of the world. All that's in there already and working and ready to go. So I think people are going to be pretty happy with it. And I'm hoping, because I'm not kidding, I've lost a lot of sleep over this particular project. This was like the biggest project we undertook. It was very, very, a lot of engineering had to go into this, a lot more than I thought. My team wanted to murder me when I did this, but we pulled it. But the thing is, too, when you task yourself with something this complicated and you do it, you learn so much. It was such a good learning experience. We learned a lot, and it helps the team out overall. And it's going to help us work with New Wave Toys, help us work with American Gear Company, help us work with other partners that we have and ones we're working with now. And as well as you guys. You guys are the winners. You guys are going to get better products that offer more for less money. How is that not a win for you guys? So that's ultimately my personal goal, is to make sure you guys can get what you want, get the highest quality stuff, whether it be your own project, you're buying it from New Wave Toys or American Gear Company, someone else, you're getting the best products you guys deserve for the money that you worked hard to get. Especially now more than ever, money does not go very far. So that's my ultimate goal. You guys can do this, have fun, share with your wife, your kids, their kids, so forth. That's my dream and my goal. I think we're starting to get there. Yeah, Marlo, we just talked about that. I'm just waiting for the Build-A-Cade GPO pin driver to be completed for the Viper, and then we will release it. So the second that driver is released, which may be relatively soon, I test it, it works, Viper will be available. I just don't want to release the Viper because I think a lot of people will want it for the Build-A-Cades. And right now, it does work with the 6-button, but the 6-button is all USB. The joystick and the buttons are all USB. For all the other controllers are some GPO pins and USB. So I have to make sure that that driver is complete and working before we release the Viper. Thank you. You know, and that's the thing too. I think a lot of people still don't know about the Build-A-Cade, and we're blowing them out. And the price, we're losing money. I'm telling you right now, we are losing at $49.99. We are losing money on the Build-A-Cade. But sometimes you need to lose money to be like a marketing thing, I guess. We're starting to get really good word of mouth between Joe Sabo's beautiful artwork with the Don Kong and like the Fix-It Felix scene right there, and the other artworks that are available from Escape Pod. He does really good artwork as well as you guys can make your own. The Build-A-Cade is starting to get out there, and then once that happens, like I said, get your $49.99 Build-A-Cade now. You can buy a couple extras for the future, because we still have a lot of things planned for the Build-A-Cade, a lot of things still coming out for it, and the price is going to go back up. So it's not going to be much longer, but for right now, it is $49.99. And thank you. It makes me feel good knowing, Moeller, that you are enjoying them, because it means a lot to me that you did. Good. Yeah. So as soon as they're made available, make sure you go to thunderstickstudio.com and do check. Subscribe to the newsletter, because as the Arcade KVM switcher becomes available, as the Viper becomes available, or some new things we're working on become available, that's the first way. And then, of course, second way is going to be on my channel. So make sure you do both. Hey. I'm going through the chat here. If you have any questions, this is the time to ask. The only reason I'm doing this stream was really just to touch base, because any questions between the Viper or the New Wave Toys, anything I can answer about that as well. This is the time to ask. Don't be shy. I don't bite. At least not lately. Don't bite. Michael B. Yes. So Michael B's asking, you missed it at the beginning of the show, that Shiloh and I are trying to get a guest to join us on the show. So I'm just waiting for Shiloh to say, we got him, and this is the date it has to be. It may be on our Kickin' Old School on Friday. It may be on another day, maybe on the weekend. It's whenever we can manage to get everyone in order. What happened to my machine? Did I just turn off there? I think my HDMI switcher may have just gone out on me. As soon as we can set that out, we'll set the date out. That's why I put in there, stay tuned. We will definitely have Shiloh on to talk about Crystal Castles and other things if we get our special guest on as well. So thank you, Michael B, for joining. I always appreciate you, buddy. The answer is maybe. We have some plans. So I would say just stay tuned. I got to reboot my little switcher here. I don't know why my HDMI just died out. Let me reboot this thing. There's always technical difficulties when you do things on the cheap, Now this thing's not even working. What's going on here? Plug that back in. So potentially, we have, again, something coming out. The hell with it. So we have the Star Wars flight yoke. We have some additional components you'll be able to add to that, which will give it many more controls. So we'll be doing it on the big, so potentially for the little. Just stay tuned on that one. Well, I'll be on there, so I'll have to say yes. I'll sexify it. For sure. Jello is fun, and he's genuine. I mean, I think Michael B will even say that Shadow is very genuine. He really cares about, he cares about his product, obviously, and his company, but he really cares that the end user enjoys it as well. He understands that you guys matter, that you guys make or break any company, and he realizes that. So I may have to reboot my device in the back over here. It's always something screwy. Let me see if I can fix this. I'm going wireless using a IO Gear, kind of hot wireless HDMI. Let's see if that brings it back. It's not a big deal, but it's always, something always works until you need it to work, and then, well, it doesn't. I hope that thing will come back on and resync in a moment. Call sign Raven just received his Viper yesterday. Can't wait to get them installed and tinker. I've had a few people message me already today that they got them in, and the instructions are included. But I also have a video, a general video of the original one I installed in my legacy unit. It is not hard to do. It really is not hard to do, but it is a little time consuming. It's going to take you a while to put it in. What I did, just so you guys know, the switches are going to come with the gold cables and the legacy cables already attached. If I was putting one in my gold unit, I took the legacy cables out just to clean it up, and vice versa. When I put the one in my legacy unit, I took the cables for the gold out. You don't have to do that, but it just made it look neater because there's already a lot of cables coming out of it as it is. If I reboot this thing again, if it comes on, let's say reboot you again, get you back. But you can see in the center window, I'm using a little Bluetooth controller here, and I can go around and I can pick the different games with my Bluetooth controller here, and the Link bit pixel display showing the changes of everything that's on there. And it's other ways to play the machine. You could have your arcade and sit down with a friend with a Bluetooth controller and play like a 4-player game of Turtles. Put Turtles on, 2 in front, 2 with Bluetooth controllers. All things you can do with the Viper. I have every single one except I did not buy the Asteroids, the beat up edition. It had like gum on it. It was freaking me out. I'm like, I don't like things all scratched. But after I got the Frenzy, once I got over the fact it's supposed to look all beat up, I liked it because that's how machines were. My Zaxxon behind me, it's beat to hell. And it was in a flood, so it's all waterlogged, so it's really screwed up and damaged. So I kind of like how New Wave Toys is doing things like that. He is. He's a very generous guy. He really is. I can't speak more highly of Shadow, and that's an important thing when you're the CEO of a company, to also be a good person. As we know, not all companies are that way. Market one up. But he is that way, so very cool. Actually, his head's not in the clouds. His head's above the clouds. He's looking down on the clouds. He's very, very tall. So nothing on that yet. We do have some additions coming out for the yoke, but nothing on the force feedback just yet. Well, that 15. I could do that, but this thing's not working now. I'm not sure why. I just set the stupid thing up here, and now my it's very hot. I'm not sure why it's so hot. Try one more time and resetting this sucker and see if this HDMI comes back online. Michael B knows I can't have never enough screens or poorly drawn artwork for my channel. Never have enough. Let's see if this thing comes back online. If not, we just won't worry about it for the show. Not that I'm aware of. Now, the Viper does have, when you accept the license agreement, there is a game downloader built in. So you don't really need an image. There are games, lots of games available. But I'm sure once people start getting their hands on it, I know Bobby Vu was working on one, but I don't know how far he got along. He worked on quite a few. I think he had a 2 terabyte drive he did at one point. He sent me a 1.5 terabyte that I had. So I'm sure it will come. But I sent one out to a lot of other people, and no one made an image. So that's another thing I think I do too much of. People say, oh, I'll do this for you. And I'm like, okay, go do it. And they don't. So another thing I've learned recently is maybe not be so gung-ho with giving out product for a review or giving product out to do like these images, because people just don't do it. They say it, they get a free product, and they don't do it. So I think that's one of the things I've taken away from this whole project. And this thing is still just ignoring the video. Let me see if I can do this again. Can I get it up here? Of course, I can't see the whole thing. Let me see if I go full screen here. Doopy-doopy-doo. Nope, that's on the right one. Just doesn't want to work. Okay. It's giving me problems as of late. These wireless transmitters. I should know better. I should just use a regular cable. Yeah, it was really, really nice. I wish, like on some of these, that he made the kick plate like metal, so a magnet would hold it on. I didn't want to keep it permanent on there, but he did a really nice job. And Zoltar, it did mine. I got two of them. I got one for me, one for my son. Mine had a little dust in it, and his beard was like half chopped. Doesn't look too good, but hey, it is what it is. I think they were under. I got mine for under $100. I can't really complain. I really can't. And Michael B's got it right. Charlotte is very good people. He's got a good team there as well. Michael, sounds good. Thanks. Is there a stock Arcade OS image that needs to be loaded? It is pre-installed. So when you turn on your Viper, it'll come automatically to the Arcade boot up screen where there's a license agreement you need to accept. So if you don't accept it, the Viper will not work. So you accept the license agreement. The next step you do is right on the screen, it'll have like Cody and video players and music players there. And next to that will be a downloader. You have to click on the downloader. Well, connect to your Wi-Fi first, and then click on the downloader. That'll download all the different emulators currently running. Now, I'm not obviously supported because there's more supported, but some of the ones that are on there. And then you can go into the game downloader and download games you are legally entitled to. And they'll all go directly onto the onboard 32 gigabyte of onboard storage, or you can plug in a USB flash drive or a micro SD card. We include, I think, a 32 gigabyte as well, because originally it was going to be Batacera. And you can put games on there as well and just start downloading and playing. And my poor IO gear is probably just overheating. Here, let's unplug it for a minute. Maybe it'll come back. Unplug that sucker. Boom. Boom. Worst Django. This is cool. The period page says fully compatible with Golden Tee. Okay, so there we go. So it is. So each one of the Golden Tee standalone GRS Trackball as well as the Crystal Castles are cross compatible with one another. I mean, they should be. They're just USB. There are 2.4 gigahertz wireless when you can play it wirelessly. But if you want no latency at all, or if you don't want to use the wireless, you can plug into the USB port and get the quickest response time. And it's good they both work. But I think between the two, the Crystal Castle ones is nicer because the ball will illuminate. It'll just make it look a lot nicer. And that's actually right. Michael B brought up a good point. So you can always go to Cool Toy, hit him up for the ROMs. Cool Toy always has the ROMs. And he's probably got everyone at this point in time. You have cool ROMs, they have Cool Toy ROMs. Remember that. Absolutely, of course. That's what this show was supposed to be about, just answering any questions you guys may have about it. Again, it's not a hard thing to do, but it does take a little bit of a time. I would say an average install time, probably good 30 to 40 minutes. Michael B may have taken an hour or two, I don't know. It says he can't do anything technical, but I've seen him do it. He can do it. He's done more than enough. I think he could do it. All the ROMs, none. That's correct, Jason. Put this over here. And let's pull this page up again if I can find it over here. Boop. That just looks really nice. And that's the one I'm going to get right there. I think that's going to look really, really nice in between all my... What I really need to do now is I really need to set up... I've seen people do their montages. I need a lot of space. I need almost like, I don't know, a warehouse for my 1/6 scale. You know, I'm getting rid of all the larger stuff. I'm going to keep my Arcade Gold, Dragon's Lair. At Games is on the fence. I still have my At Games Legends Ultimate, but I really don't play it. I don't play it. I play the iArcades. So the At Games may be on the fence. And I do have my Star Wars from Arcade 1-Up that I have, which I'm probably not going to keep much longer, but I have it for now. And that's even running the B Kong's image. It's not really even running Arcade 1-Up software. And of course, my Tron I'm keeping just because, well, they stole my stuff. But I always want to keep that for legal reasons in case I ever need it for them. I don't trust them at all, Arcade 1-Up anymore. They're crooks. You know, we're not a monitor, but you can plug things in. I mean, you obviously go home, you plug in a light bulb, you plug your lamp in, you plug in your TV, you connect your game consoles to your TV. Michael B, that's all this is. You can do it. It's not really a mod. It's really more of a connecting. Like we're all connected. And speaking of connecting, that's more of a K19 Fox thing. I can't do that. That's his forte, but it's really not hard to do. And I know you specifically got yourself an iArcade because you want to be able to do these type of things. So you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can. What else we got over here? I can't say if it work with any emulator. The emulator has to support a mouse, and not all do. However, if the Cade one, I know it connects via USB. If it's a true to USB mouse trackball device, as long as the emulator supports it, then yes. I mean, we do the same thing with the Build-A-Cades, with the versions of MAME that we use. It's got to be a version that supports a trackball. As long as it does, in theory, yeah, it should work. Kurt Lesson, I cried when I heard, so thank you for saving my heart. I'm not sure what that means, but hey, saving hearts is kind of what I do here. Mine gets ripped apart, but that's just for a different day, a different story. No, I would never extend you any credit, but I will give you kudos. And I still think you can do it, Michael. But no, I don't do credit with friends because you don't want to risk smoke alarm test, I hope. I hope. Let's see here. Yep, I'm just doing it really because of the New Wave Toys announcement, and a lot of people have been receiving my iArcade Viper switcher. And if anyone had any questions, I want to make sure people just got some answers tonight. Nice. Paul's arrives tomorrow as well. I think like 3 arrived yesterday, 4 arrived today. And I think now they're really going to start trickling out there and people will start getting their hands on it. So again, getting games is not going to be hard to do. You probably already have a bunch of ROMs you can load easily or use the built-in downloader. But I am sure as the community starts getting Vipers, you will have tons and tons of ROM builds developed specifically for the Viper, for the iArcade, or your other use as well. Scott B, I'm tempted to get a bundle in part to have the GRS Trackball and use it with both Crystal Castles and Golden Tee. That would make sense. And if I had the choice between the Golden Tee Trackball and the Crystal Castles looks so much nicer, and that light up ball. It's still really nice. I mean, it's a 3-inch trackball. It's the best one we've made so far. We've put industrial grade ball bearings and shafts in there. It's really going to be a nice trackball. So I think you guys will really enjoy it. I do. The Crystal Castle is just a nice looking cabinet, nice artwork on there. And some people said they shouldn't have done the Golden Tee at all. I'm still liking the Golden Tee. And I think, again, in the golf world, people do like Golden Tee and don't know about Arcade 1-Up or other versions of Golden Tee. It's a nice thing for your desk. You can put this Golden Tee on your desk at work and have the trackball in a meeting, and no one's around, go on your big TV set in the room and play Golden Tee that way. So I still think a lot of people will enjoy the Golden Tee. From P-Dubs, according to Shiloh, he's not on the stream today. He will be on the stream as soon as we finalize a date with a special guest. The trackballs apparently are interchangeable. Personally, I would go for the Crystal Castles one because of the light-up trackball. Now, we are going to make sure the trackball as closely resembles the color illumination of the Crystal Castle. It's very important. but I'm trying to make sure, I got to get approval. I would still like the trackball to be multicolor, kind of like we did with our regular trackballs. If you don't want it in the red, you want it in a different color, you can so choose. But I'm still talking with that with New Wave Toys and Atari to make sure, because again, it's licensing. It all has to be done to their what they want. But if I can, I'd like to make the trackball multicolor. And so the answer is yes, they're interchangeable. They are interchangeable. Yes, so the Viper, that's one of the beautiful things working with Arcade is, first of all, they're a great bunch of guys. Adam was on. If you didn't see the stream this past Friday, you want to go to that. And Adam, who developed Arcade, which is a offshoot of Batacera. It is an offshoot of Batacera, but highly customized for the Arcade chipset, which is what I use, the Arcade 3566. And then when the Viper Venom comes out, that'll be an Arcade 3588. So we always were planning two tiers. The standard Viper, which is the retro gaming, low power, inexpensive, a lot of features. And then the Viper Venom is going to be the one where it's literally like a nuclear reactor on steroids. So it's going to be a full-blown powerhouse. But in both of them, the important thing was making it easy for you guys to use. So you plug in a GRS Sinden Target Pro or a regular Sinden light gun, just connect it. It'll be recognized. The board will come up and you can play, right? That's what you want. You don't want to mess with stuff. You want it just to work. You plug in a GRS trackball or GRS spinner, whether it be a push-pull spinner or the standard spinner, plug it in, it's going to work. When you connect it to an iArcade with the gate switchers, or you have another machine with the GRS TOS gate switchers, turn the feature on, it's intelligent. It'll know when you're playing Pac-Man to switch the gates automatically to 4-way. When you play Scramble, it'll switch it to 8-way. It's intelligent. It does it. If you connect the GRS Flight Yoke, Star Wars game, Star Wars yoke, you plug that in, the controls recognize it's going to work. The one we haven't completed yet, which we're working on, it's software update. Again, the Viper and Arcade is over-the-air upgradable. Okay, so once you do the initial install, any future upgrades will just be a download. How simple is that? You don't have to be burning flashcards and reprogram everything. It'll be saved. It even backs up that in case something goes wrong. But we haven't configured yet the Ikari Warriors Super Joystick. That'll come in the next release. We'll have that done. And our future controllers we're working on, because we are working on other controllers, they'll be directly supported. So the Arcade is easy to use and powerful and efficient. Boom. If you can, hey, Australia does breakdancing, right? If they could do Australian breakdancing at the Olympics, I'm sure, Michael B., you can play some games with your feet. I think that'll work. I'm sorry, Don. If I missed something here, I'm trying to go through the chat. I never got my new glasses. Just post it again. I'm sorry if I'm missing anything here. I'm not meaning to. So if I did miss a question, Don, just please post it again, and I'll try and get it for you. Imagine New Wave Toys made a real mini cab. Well, remember, if you guys look at my channel, if you're not subscribed to my channel, if you look at my channel, I posted a video with a 1/6 scale, fully operational mini pinball machine. But that video, I think, only had 5,000 or 6,000 views. I needed that video to be at 10,000, and it hasn't gotten 10,000. I'm at least 4,000 short. So until I get 10,000, it doesn't show me there's enough interest for us to invest in going with a Build-A-Pin, which is what it would be. It'd be a 7-inch main playfield, a 5-inch back glass. It'll have a mechanical plunger. It'll have a solenoid for feeling when those things happen. A sensor. If you're hitting the machine, there'll be a sensor for tilt, or if you want to knock the ball around. So we planned a lot of things for it, but we would be building it yourself with a mini PC. We'd say what that was, but I haven't got 10,000 views on that video, so that's telling me there's not enough interest yet in a small pinball. But our pinball would have been fully functional with a 7-inch screen and a 5-inch back glass. But it would definitely be more than $199. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it that cheap. I don't think. Jason, nice, excellent. Again, I am excited and nervous. I want you guys to be so happy with this. We put so much work into the switcher and so much work into the Viper and so much work into Arcade, and it was so tiring. Personally, it cost a lot of stuff happened to me in that interim. A lot of stuff. We're trying to do all this stuff. A lot of stuff happened to me on a personal level. So I'm really hoping that at least you guys find this thing really as exciting as I hope it is. Trying for that. I just finished installing my third switcher. Dang. He's got 3 installed already. So Trump, you got to tell everyone, what do you think so far? How was the installation? Inquiring minds want to know. I so ordered that from you. I could put a link down in the video. Just give me a second to find it. I got to find it myself. It's been a while. Go over here. Go to YouTube together. Pinball. Let's see what we find. Let's see what we find. There it is, right here. I'll put this link down in the description. I'll put that down in the chat. So back in 2019, a friend of mine, Dwayne Ringo, had made a mini pinball machine. I reached out to him, and he gave me the shell and the parts, and I built one off of his design, and it was really good. The problem was 5, 6 years ago, PC performance really wasn't, and it wasn't there, but it is now. Pinball. It's surprising that a pinball player or pinball machine requires a very powerful PC, definitely a good graphics card. High end to really. We also have the flipper this was button, made by a friend of mine, and the Scott. Nudge button. This is actually all 3D go to the other side over here. See the same thing. We have injected molded these plastic. 3D printed legs with these little adjustable pieces with rubber feet on the bottom. Our nudge and our flipper button over here. Now on the front, he did such a beautiful job. Now he'd never done a Gottlieb machine before. Get the sound off of here. Here we go. But I want you to know that so far, I'm extremely happy with the KVM switcher and the Vipers. Excellent. I mean, you've only had it for, what, a couple of hours? So at least that's a good sign. But I definitely want feedback from everyone. I want to make sure people are happy and they're enjoying it. I really think they will be, and I'm hoping they will be. So fingers are crossed, because again, a lot of sleepless nights working on this switcher, because I think when I started the project, I took on a lot more, I think, than we probably should have. But we're here. We crossed the finish line. We did the 50K run. The Vipers are on their way. The KVM is on their way. Now it's up to you to see if it was worth it. I do hope you guys think that it was. Comfort Die, installation was a breeze on both the OG and the gold boards. Thank you for saying it. Even Michael B, I'm telling Michael B can do this. He can put it in. It's not hard. The steps, I think, may be actually a little slightly easier for the gold. Slightly, not a lot. Just because it's easier to get the PCB from the gold on the back than it really is to get the board out of the original unit in that cardboard, pressed particle board cage that it's in. But it's not hard to do. It's really not. Pin that message. And that's it too. So people may not realize that we bypass. I mean, the Arcade Golden Legacy already had a very powerful, I think it was 100 amp speaker system in there. But we recreated it. We actually got the schematics from them, and we made our own, because we needed to be able to control as much as we could on our end. And a lot of people also had burned out amps or something along those lines, a chipset. People said we needed a replacement. So the Viper can be extremely loud in Arcade, extremely loud. I think maybe even louder than the Arcade. But we do put a pot. There's a pot in the back. You can manually tune that in so don't blow your face off with the speakers. Vipers sold out. It's easy for me. Yeah, the more Vipers will be coming out. If you missed it, we're just waiting for one driver to be completed so the Build-A-Cade can support the Viper directly with the GPO pin. So it shouldn't be much longer. The Vipers will be back in stock. He agrees. It's definitely easier on the Gold. Not that it's difficult on the Legacy. It's not. The harder part is just getting the Legacy board out from the enclosure where the joysticks are. That's the hard part. It's just easier on the Gold because it's really right behind there and it comes right off. But the steps themselves are pretty much the same after that. So it's really not too bad. But I'm impressed, man. You banged a bunch of them out already. I'm impressed. Just make sure when you fire up for the first time, you have to accept the license agreement and you have to connect to Wi-Fi. You have to be on Wi-Fi or nothing else is going to work. You're not going to be able to download the emulators or download the ROMs or get software updates. Again, reminder that this will have software updates, just like at games would have done, except we don't block stuff. So you'll be able to get downloads without the blockings. We're not going to do any blockings. It does. So the 1/6 scale pinball is supposed to fit with the Build-A-Cades and New Wave toys. That one there is made by my friend Scott. He did a beautiful, beautiful job. But we want to basically do that same thing at a mass scale, and again, including sensors, motion sensors, physical, mechanical plunger. We want you to be able to hit it for tilt, or shake it to get the ball to move versus, pressing buttons to do that. 7-inch main screen, a 5-inch back screen, stereo speakers, running, a V-pin on there. There's been a lot of advancements in virtual pinball. They've kind of consolidated and optimized it so much more that this is completely doable. We probably would have it close to being on the market at this point. This video is 5 months old, and we still haven't hit not even halfway, only 4,900. So that's telling me there's just not a huge interest really in this size pinball. If we get it to 10,000 relatively soon, I can try and see if we can still work it in our 2025 marketing campaign. But right now, it's not looking that's going to be the case. But things can always change. I'm always welcome to. I'll go for it. If we hit 10,000, I'll make it happen. T-Slayer just got my GRS Build-A-Cade today. Congrats, man. If that's your first one, I want to know how you find the build and like what you do. So make sure if you're on Facebook, I hope you're on Facebook, and you go to the GRS Build-A-Cade fan page. I'd love to see what you do with it. There's so many cool things that you can still do with the Build-A-Cades. Tom Ferdai's got 4 iArcade KVM switchers coming. He bought 4. He's got 3, and he's got another one coming on September 3rd. Dang, man. Trump or Die does not F around. Does not F around. Yeah, so again, there's a couple of things. Again, since iArcade is gone, their engineering team is gone. They were gone during our whole project. Pretty much the video I did with Zhang and Michael, that was pretty much it. Like another week, and then they were done. We had no contact with them. We had no way to get schematics. So the one thing with the Viper was we can control the volume on the control panel in one mode. We have different joystick modes. It's described in the manual. We have three different modes of joysticks. Only one mode we're able to use the buttons to control the volume. The rest you have to use the pot on the back. Now it's possible using Arcade that we can make another enhancer board with a custom Arcade. That's part of a custom Arcade and Arcade are partners of GRS now. Possibly we can make a board that'll interface them, but we couldn't get it to work properly. So you might have to adjust volume on the back if it's too loud. Pi 4 would definitely work, and I actually am going to work on a Pi 5. There's no reason why Pi 5 wouldn't work. In the Build-A-Cade manual, we give you instructions on how to set up the different menus, GPO pins, and everything else. So you can load a stock Pi 5 emulation station build. There is one out there, I think. and you can upgrade it with this and hopefully get the Pi 5 to work, because a Pi 5 in there would be killer until the Viper Venom comes out, in which case the Viper Venom will triumph the Pi 5. The Arcade 3588 is a more powerful chipset than the Viper 5. Oh! Don't forget, I just installed 128 main games on a Space Invaders Gold using the GRS Viper and switchboard. Now, Triumph, how easy was it to do? Put in the chat, how easy was it for you to put those games on your Viper switcher in your arcade? You have 128 games in there. How hard was it to do? Boop, boop, boop. Losing my place here. Yeah, it should be. It's really just connecting cables and removing cables. The instructions are very clear, and I have a video as well that shows how I did it in mine. Now, the one I did was in the prototype. It was actually in a 3D printed case. The new one is just the plexiglass innards, makes it even easier, but it really should not be hard to do. Again, Triumph or Die could probably tell you he's done three already. That's more than I've done. I've only done 2, although I did swap 1 out. So I guess I did 3 myself. Trump's saying it's super easy to install. So there you go. I think it is. I still think Michael B could do it easily enough. I really, really do. It's probably around the same size. American Girl might be a little bit bigger, actually, if I'm thinking about it. But this will do more than that one, for sure. Richie, I want to build a Bear Build a Cade collector's bundle. Bear has to be in Glenn's image. No time. Well, maybe you never know. Now people ask, why not? What do I need for you to have a running arcade from you? A Build-A-Cade and what else? When you get the Build-A-Cade, it's just either a Viper, which will be available soon, or Raspberry Pi. And some artwork. And again, some people do their own artwork. My Star Trek, the Neo Geo right there in the background, are homemade artwork. So you can definitely do it yourself if you want. But you know, Joe Sabos and Escape Pod makes really good graphics already. Just get it like 30, 40 bucks, slap it on. It's gonna look like those back there, which is can I bring it up here bigger? I cannot, because that's not working. Got the wrong camera again. My God. Wrong one. There we go. Those, I mean, the one on the Neo Geo right there is just homemade. It was made by a friend of mine, slapped it on. The one on the left is the acrylic from Joe Sabos Arcade. Both you can see look fantastic. They really, really do. And let's get this off the screen at this point. Too many. Here we go. Get it off screen for a second there. You know, I'm trying to remember. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to check for Jason. I don't remember. We were doing so many different testing on the machine for release. I don't remember what version it is on there. I know it's LS MAME, but I'm not sure what version of LS MAME. I probably should have checked. Yes. So the Viper line was always designed to be upgradable. But, you know, I think, honestly, it might be just more price better just to not upgrade and keep your Viper and use another project, get the Venom. Just because the project, like I said, each project is getting big, adding more features to them. And it's becoming to the point where I think the price of the upgrade versus this price of the whole Venom, swapping it out for the other one, might be the better way to go. But the option, I'm sure, will still be there. It's so easy. A caveman can do it. Well, that's true. I did do it. So it should work okay. Well, I still need a cord not included. Kurt, what cord? Give me a little more information there. I'll try and answer for you. Everything should be in the kit. Should be. Yeah, that's what happens when they put really good rubber feet on these. It was a pain for me to turn mine around too. Things you got to go through to have a good arcade at home. I'm gonna see if my HDMI thing comes back online now that it's cooled off. I think I'm just putting in a long cable. Yeah, with always good advice. Always check all your connections. I had the same problem when I first put mine in. My machine was working fine, and then my joystick wasn't working, and some buttons weren't working, and I didn't seat down the GPO pin, which is that big white cable, thick white cable. Then press it down all the way and lock it in place, and it came a little bit loose and lost some controls. And what happened to Triumph is his power button wasn't working. And I said, you check your cables? He checked his cable and it was working. You got to make sure it's pressed down all the way till it locks in place. See, Michael B, you can easily mod your arcade with the switcher and the Viper. Piece of cake. You can do it. You can do it. You can. And my switcher looks like it's just toast. I have to probably get a new HDMI cable for my iArcade over there. Brooklyn Menace, bud. How you doing, buddy? It's always good to see you. Brooklyn Menace is a great guy. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. He was down at the Long Island Gaming Expo. I think the first time I met him was down in Long Island. And then he was again, I'm sorry, at the Too Many Games Expo in Philadelphia. I met him the first time. And then he was there again at the Long Island Gaming Expo. He's a fantastic guy. He's got a great channel. Make sure you subscribe to Brooklyn Menace. You won't be sorry, especially if you like the iArcade. You know, they have a great show they do there with the Arcadians. No, you did miss out on the GRS pin. The video link is in the description. It's only at 4,900 views. It has to get to 10,000 before we can even consider working on the project. So we still have about 5,100 views to go. So hopefully it'll get there. If not, we'll just work on other projects. But you didn't miss out on it. We haven't even gotten there yet. Here we go. Boom. Be sure to sub. Throw him a sub. Throw him a like. Throw him some bucks. It's Brooklyn Menace, man. Throw him some cash. Okay, fine, yeah. The extension cable, actually, I thought was way longer than needed. At least the one I got from Al Link for my BitPixel, it's probably like 3 feet too long. But it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem. Slayer, I have the Pi 4 with HDMI adapter from your site with a builder kit I can run. DZ Retro Machine, the Ultimate Edition. Nice, very nice. Let's see, 20 version or just the arcade games only? You know what? I don't know. I don't know about that build, buddy. I don't know. I've never tried that one. I built all mine pretty much myself. I've been collecting ROMs since God. When did I start collecting? It had to be early 2000s. So I've just been getting them myself. I don't really use anyone else's builds. I don't know. I'm sorry on that one. Yeah, let's go back to that. Boom. Let's go back to that. Pull this back up over here. That is a nice looking cabinet. Very nice looking cabinet. And just keep an eye out for the announcement when Shiloh will be on the show, because we'll have a great show talking about this and maybe some other things. Who knows? Road Wars, you got both. Look at that. Nice. Very nice. Appreciate it. Big time. I'm disappointed that my wireless HDMI splitter just decided to crap out. It was working fine for like the longest time, and now it just doesn't want to work. I do have another receiver. Maybe I'll just try and get another receiver, and maybe that'll be better. I don't know. All right, guys, ready for the questions? Come on, hit me with some questions. I just realized this whole time my chat's not there? Really? I didn't realize my chat was even there. This is what happens when I have to do things like last minute. Why didn't that chat come up? Should have. Let's see. What happened here? That's weird that it's not working. I'm not sure why it's not. Should be. Gonna try a refresh? That is very weird. I didn't even notice it wasn't here this whole time. Very strange. The live chat's not working in the window. It's always something. Glenn, my arcade are finally a dream fulfilled. Thanks for the GRS deck and the switcher. Well, that's what I wanted. I want the iArcade to be used. It's a great machine. It's got my controls in it now, but it had great controls in it. But it's got a good monitor. It's got great speakers. It's a nice design cabinet. It's solid, and I want more use out of it. Now, if you had the mystery team encoder board in your legacy unit, you were able to load games that way, and it did work with my control deck. This is just another option, and the Gold, I think, just recently had a way to load stuff over a local server, but it's not easy. I'm hoping the Viper people find a lot easier to do things on. My pleasure. My pleasure. I like the community. I like you. That's kind of what I do. I'm here for the community. I'm here to help and keep these things going. It makes me feel good to know you guys are able to get some use out of it. Broken's a busy man. I have about 5 videos I'm working on right now. As long as he doesn't ask me to talk about his show, which I totally screwed up. He's like, Glenn, why don't you say this for my show? And it's like 3 times I said it wrong. It's right on his hat, and I'm still saying it wrong because I'm an idiot. But that's okay. That's okay. Yes, I have, and it works more than adequate. So yes, the Viper is more than capable of doing some great Amiga games on the Viper Cami. So that'll work great. Yeah, this is coming. So we haven't gotten the driver fully set up yet on the Viper for the Super Joystick, but we will. It'll be in the next release. Well, thank you. It won't be, I don't know if it'll happen all the time, but there was just so much things happening today. I just wanted to come on and make sure that anyone had my switcher, had any questions, I could answer them. And obviously talk about New Wave toys until Shiloh can nail down the day. We can have him on the show and talk about the Crystal Castles and other things that New Wave Toys is doing. Yep, according to Shiloh, they should be interchangeable. However, I think that the Crystal Castle ones is going to be the nicer one because obviously the trackball does light up. My chat's not working. My HDMI is not working. Falling apart here. Falling apart. Went to Costco today and re-upped my membership. Saw the class of 82 club table and golden TXL. I'm surprised to find the golden T table and PM. I found one of those hacks. If you were to go to the store and get a Costco gift card, you wouldn't need the membership. You could just take that gift card. Say, I got a gift card. I have to be able to use it, and they have to let you in for free. Something I learned. Yo, the Rexer Show. The Rexer Show is here. Yo, Rexer. How are you today? Thanks, Jason. How Jason does everything he does, I don't know. That's why I definitely think he's an AI, because he just he's just so damn good. He has everything. He knows everything. Ay vey. So for my Build-A-Cade, like I said, I'm still got to work on Donkey Kong 3, Punch-Out. I really want to do Punch-Out, Mario Brothers. I can't remember the fourth one I wanted to do. It was 4. I can't think of it. Punch-Out, Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong 3. Throwing a total blank. I mean, there's a lot I still want to build. I want to make a Scramble. I want to make, you know, I was talking before about, you know, New Wave Toys possibly doing it, but Rally X, Space Fury, Cinematronics Ripoff. Love that game. Ripoff, one of my favorite games. And other really obscure games like Naughty Boy. I mean, people like Naughty Boy. I'm like, I like Naughty Boy. It was a fun game. It was a really fun game, and that's just something you're not going to see. And even Sega's Turbo. I used to love Sega Turbo. We'll probably get a pole position at some point, but we'll get a Turbo. I don't know. Oh, that's a good one. And Phoenix was a really good game. That's true. Oh, that was it. Player's Choice 10. Rexer, thank you. So Donkey Kong 3, Mario Brothers, Punch-Out, and Player's Choice 10. Those are the next 4 Build-A-Cades I want to make. That was it. Freaking Player's Choice 10. That was the goddamn one I was thinking about. Thank you. Driving me nuts. And again, for anyone who missed it, the only reason the Viper hasn't been up for pre-sale right now is because I think the majority of people are going to want the Viper outside of what's already coming with the iArcade is for the Build-A-Cades. And unless you're using a 6-button control deck like in my Neo Geo cabinet over there, which is, if I get it right, I got it right the first time. My 6-button controller is USB through and through, so it'll work, no problem. But all the other controllers use GPIO pins and USB. So we need to finish the driver for the Viper's GPIO pins to work with Arcade. As soon as that gets tested and going, the Viper will be up for the pre-order and start shipping them out. So that's what's holding that up. That's one I've been wanting to do as well. I would like to see a battle zone, maybe do a 3D printed, you know, turret where you kind of look in on the front like the arcade had, and using the Tron dual joysticks and just, you know, press down for firing on it. I would love to see if someone does that. I really would love to see something like that. I commissioned Arcade Workshop, Gary, to make the gas pedals. So you can just 3D print the gas brake and shift up and shift down, and the Build-A-Cade literally sits on that. I'm going to print one as soon as I have a chance. But that's the whole point about the Build-A-Cade too. The Build-A-Cade is there to be modified, to be hacked. That's half the fun. I mean, you can build it like I'm doing right here with this kind of stock machines. I really want to see people do some wild things with the Build-A-Cade, and I want to see what you guys can do with this thing. Well, Joe Sabos does the acrylic artwork. You also have Escape Pod Arcades. They have some. And there's also Arcade Graphics. Arcade Graphics is, you know, they generally do a lot of arcade one-up ones. But he's got if you go on eBay, you actually go on eBay and type in Build-A-Cade artwork, Arcade Graphics come up. He's got, I don't know, like 30 different ones on there. He's got a Frogger I may have to pick up. I do want to make a proper Frogger with the good sound, Michael B, with the right sound effects in Frogger. And did he have a Sinistar? He might have had a Sinistar. I'm going to have to look at that one too, if he did. Nice, Papa Brad. And if it survives Papa Brad's use, you know it's going to be solid and good, because he beats the shit out of them, especially the controllers. If you're talking about the Ikari sticks in the iArcade, probably not. I'm not saying it's completely impossible, but that control deck already, between the spinner we have in there and the joysticks, the buttons, and the gate switchers, that took up just about every inch of space. And the Ikari sticks are a little bit larger at the base, if you took away a couple of buttons, maybe it was 4 buttons, took away 2 from the 6, you might be able to get it to fit. But I honestly think that it might be better to make an entirely different control panel. Or again, we have mounting points on the front and the side of the unit. Would be to maybe have that mounted externally. We have other projects coming down the pipeline, but I don't think it would fit easily in the current iArcade unit. I'm not saying it's impossible. I saw Papa Brad drilling through the bottom for the gate switchers, so anything's possible. Just don't cross the streams, Rexer. Just don't cross the streams. Turbo, they're both really good games. I think when I honestly played Turbo first. I think I played that in the mall in Mount Kisco, and it was a great game. And then, of course, I got it in the ColecoVision with the expansion module number 2, which wasn't really an expansion module, just a controller. But very fun game. But pole position can't take away. That's a really fun game too. In fact, a friend of mine, Bruce Yeager, built me a pole position unit. I think I did a video on it. I don't even know. I did so many videos I don't even remember anymore. But I think my earpiece died. That's okay. These things don't last very long. I don't really need the earpiece. But the pole position is also a very, very good game. I would actually like to see a Build-A-Cade with Sega's Virtua Racing on a Build-A-Cade. It's with a Pi 4, Pi 5 with a Viper. I think it's totally possible. That would be pretty cool, seeing a VR racing cabinet. Or Starblade. I love Starblade. One of my favorite games. I'd love to see a Build-A-Cade done with that as well. What else do we have here? Falling behind in my chats. Dun, 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 dun. Brooklyn Minnesota, the Don Con can't write for too many games. I talked to Joe Sabos. He's making them, but he's got a lot of orders, so I'm not sure how long it's going to take for him to fill all of them. He got a lot of orders after too many games. And then the Long Island Gaming Expo added even more. What do we got here? Richie, I can vouch for Sabo stuff. That acrylic artwork, I'm going to tell you right now, the acrylic artwork, especially if you want to do like a Nintendo cabinet, that is really, I think, the only way to go. You probably could use a vinyl, even with the 3D printed parts. Looks like Blue came down. Hey, Blue, come here. Come here. Here, bud. Come here. Come here, come here, come here. Oh, you don't want to be picked up. I'm going to pick you up anyway. Just had one. Hey, Blue. Had one. What's that? What's that? Let me pause. There you go. But Joe Saber's artwork is the best. He's looking for food. You looking for food? All right. Good. He only wants to come over for food. I have none with me. It will be tested, Glenn. I know. If it survives Papa Brad, it's going to be a good device. He does play his arcades. Princess Tomato. TK Magic Shop. I was going to attempt to code a 1/6 scale Build-A-Cade just for my collection. I'd like to see what you can do. I really would love to see what you can do. So if you do something, definitely let me know. Very possible. Completely possible. Spy Hunter. I know a lot of people. It's one of those games. Too many buttons. There's too many buttons for me. Once you get past like 3 buttons, I'm starting to get confused, and I'm not good. And I did play it in the arcade. Didn't do it very well. I play it at home. Don't do very well. But it is a fun game. I know that. He's a good boy. I'm so glad that, again, so many people to thank for Blue still being around. He's a really good dog. I'll never find another dog like him for sure. Yep, so did I. I played Starblade in the arcade. I think I played it at Nathan's down in Yonkers. And then when I got my 3DO and I saw that Panasonic had come out with Starblade Insta-Buy, and they texture mapped it, and it looked even better than the arcade. And I would love to see Starblade running on a Build-A-Cade in the cabinet and in the artwork. I thought that'd be really cool. No, Stephen M. I did not. I did not. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of announcements lately. A lot of stuff. You know, I gotta talk about Atari again. That the 7800 plus. Okay, I'm cool with that. I have no problem. I still wish the 2600 plus was a 6-switch heavy sixer. I don't understand why they went for the cost reduced version, something like that. I won't buy it. I won't buy it. I don't know why I went on that tangent, but I did. It's all doable. Good 3D printers, acrylic printers can do things like that, and that's what I want to see. I want people to take these Build-A-Cades. I want them to do those type of things. The Nintendo style cabinets was easy enough because of the original Build-A-Cade was built off a prototype. I asked Arcade Workshop to design a 3D printed Donkey Kong, and so that's where it came from. But I would love to see other side panels, other artwork, and hopefully someone will take up that. And that's what I want the Build-A-Cade to be. I want a whole ecosystem built around the Build-A-Cades. All right, we're gonna going over here. Boop, boop, boop. Getting blind. Oh, Trump Day. Uh-oh. Time for a hot shower. All right, bud. Thanks for joining the stream. Thanks for your comments, and appreciate the 4 KVM switches you bought for your arcades. Appreciate you, man. Have a good night. Radarscope, that's one I do want to make, again, because that was the original cabinet design. Radarscope was the first one to use the Donkey Kong cabinet, if you will. And it's not a very fun game, but it's like one of those things you just have to do. They have to have it. Again, at $49, it's crazy not to buy a couple Build-A-Cades and just make something you really want. I have my PS5 controller for my Build-A-Cade, and it runs PS2 fine. There you go. Boom. Ooh, nice. Very nice. All right, I'm going to stay on maybe another 5 minutes. If you guys have any questions, I still have testing I got to do. But I wanted to do a stream real quick here for you guys. Yeah, say Steps Gaming. And just a reminder to everyone, the Steps is going to be at the Portland Gaming show coming up. And she's going to have some prize giveaways because she's doing if you want to put down the chat Steps, it'd be great for like cancer, I guess research and help, which is always a good thing. So she's going to be she'll have a table out there with above a Build-A-Cade to give away. I think she has other giveaways as well. But Steps, you want to put down in the chat, some information about what you're doing in Portland, so people can see that. It'd be great. And a Wednesday edition, yeah, maybe once in a while we can do that. And Steps also has a great channel. She just hit, I think, 2,000 subs. So if you haven't subscribed to Steps, this is your first step into subscribing. Go over there and give her video a thumbs up and give her a sub. It'd be great. She's good people. I gotta tell you something too. The Wreck-It Ralph I have playing back there, that's the Sega Genesis version on there, which is pretty good. But I found that the Commodore 64 version, I think, is the best version that I found. If you guys find a version that's even better, let me know. But I think it's got great speech in it. The gameplay is really good. The menu screen actually has this effect that makes it look like an old CRT. It's got these lines going across it. So if you build a Fix-It Felix, I recommend the Commodore 64 version of the game first, the Sega Genesis version second. And if there's other versions that people know that are better, let me know, but I enjoy them. So here I'm helping kids, I give kids a World Village, running a booth there. I'm going to be running online links during the same weekend. Hopefully we'll get some streams so we can help give kids the world even more. That's great. So again, subscribe to Steps Gaming, and if you're out in Portland, definitely go to the show and help out. I think that's a beautiful thing. Steps, thank you. You know what? I have Star Control 2. I didn't get very far in it. I mean, it's a strategy game, and that means you have to think. And I'm not a big thinker when it comes to games. I want to go in and shoot and kill and get through the game. But I know a lot of people really talk about Star Control 2. It was a direct port, I think, from the PC. And I have it. I just never really played it. Nice. Oh, I missed one from her. Okay, hold on. Give Kids the World and a place where children with terminal and critical illnesses can get vacation for 1 week with their families. That's awesome. And that includes lodging at Disney, Universal, and SeaWorld. So again, if you can help out Steps, go to the show and try and win a prize and see if you can help her out as well. It'd be awesome. Like I said, Steps is good people. All right, guys, with that, I think I'm going to close out the episode. A couple of things didn't work. My wireless HDMI splitter died. I guess don't buy IO Gear stuff. Didn't work very well. And for some reason, the live chat didn't appear. It was supposed to be down there. It's not. But we'll still have Kicking Old School this Friday. And keep an eye out for when I'll post when Shiloh will be able to come on the show to discuss, well, the Crystal Castles and other things. I appreciate every one of you guys. As always, I thank you for jumping on the stream that came out of nowhere tonight. Just kind of just went live. But I do appreciate every one of you guys. Take a moment tonight, tomorrow, whenever. Just tell your kids, your wife, girlfriends, friends, family that you love them, that they matter. Tomorrow's never promised. Sometimes things don't work out and you don't get to tell them that anymore. So make sure when you can tell them, you let them know that they matter, that they're important, you love them. Because tomorrow's never promised. But in between those times, well, get a Build-A-Cade, get your Iracade, go see Steps Gaming at the show out in, oh my God, Portland Gaming Expo. But in between those times, have fun most of all. Remember, family and friends are more important. But in between those times, game on.
Game on.
Sit, Blue,